Hey, baby.
A case of self-defense.
I knew he was fearing for his life, so
That's the mother of Hey, baby.
he
Hurricane
would
Chris.
never pull a gun if he was not.
Now 34-year-old Shreveport native Christopher Dooley, better known as Hurricane Chris, shot 32-year-old Danzaria Ferris Jr. at this former Texaco station on Hollywood Avenue in Shreveport.
I was really, like I say, disappointed.
Victim's
Somewhat
mother.
mad, but not angry, because to me, I felt like justice was not served.
Mother of the deceased Ferris
Remember that line.
says she and her family are trying to move forward following the not guilty verdict. Two mothers, two families forever changed after their sons had a brief encounter.
I got the phone call and I rushed to the scene. At first, I didn't know what had happened. My son was in the back of a police car.
The men stood face to face for less than 2 minutes, that interaction resulting in Ferris being killed.
You have your son, and you have your grandson, and you have all your family. But I always remember, I'm still missing my son. He can't come back. I can't see him anymore, but you can see yours.
June 19th of
Now
2020,
watch.
both
This is
arrived at the
the part.
Texaco
Look at this.
minutes apart.
Look at this.
Ferris approached a vehicle that had been driven by Dooley and opened the Mercedes
What?
S-Class door.
Look at this. Look at
That
this.
car,
He
the
opened
state
the
argued,
door.
was owned by Dooley's ex-girlfriend. Dooley then
he
approached
just pulled the
Ferris
strap on him
and
right
drew
there.
his weapon.
Yep.
Dooley is off camera in this frame of the video, but has his weapon drawn and aimed at Ferris. One state's witness spoke about seeing the two men and Dooley looking scared and says he told the clerk there might be a problem outside. Following his purchase, the witness says he returned to his vehicle, and after hearing gunshots, he left the Texaco, he says, trying to put the incident out of his mind. 2023 is the...
Hold on. So, this boy right here in the blue shirt's mama said justice
Yes.
was not served.
Yes.
Did she see this footage?
Yes.
What?
Nick Kraft. He was under the spell of Nick Kraft.
Hey, you don't know Nan.
It was after 9.
It was after 9. I guarantee it. No Negroes after 9, bro. That's how you get yourself in trouble.
The first time authorities reached out to that witness for a statement. Nearly 2 minutes after Dooley and Ferris encountered each other, Dooley fired the weapon, hitting Ferris 6 times, leaving him to bleed out on the ground. Dooley left the Texaco briefly before calling 911 and returned to the Texaco to turn himself in to police on scene.
how you
Ferris's
do it.
mother watched the video with jurors repeatedly during the trial, saying she had to face it. She had this message for Dooley.
I just hope you find in your heart to do right towards everybody.
Throughout the 7 days of testimony, the state called 9 witnesses. A forensic pathologist showed
What
the
is she
graphic
talking
and
about?
gruesome details of Ferris's fatal injuries. He also revealed that Ferris only had caffeine in his system when he died. The defense only
So
called
he was
2
well
witnesses,
aware of
including
what he was
Dooley.
doing when he
During
opened
that
up another
testimony,
man's
he
car.
stated, "Yes, I fired the weapon because I was in total fear for my life."
Knowing that you might not walk out with your son was the worst feeling ever. I basically told them we walked in here together and we're going to all walk out together.
Manifesting the outcome of the trial, not guilty of second-degree murder
Yo,
or
I'm
possession.
gonna just go on record
I
right
was
here
in the back of a
Have your
and
son,
say,
and you have
if
your
this
grandson,
happens-
and you have all your family.
if this
apart.
happens 1,000 times, 1,000 times the person who opened that car door should get shot 6 times. At the very least. Why would you... What frame of mind do you have to be in to think that you can just open somebody's car door like that? What are you thinking?
Ferris
dude?
approached a vehicle
So
that
he-
had been driven by Dooley and opened the Mercedes S-Class door.
So he
that
opens the
car,
door.
the state argued, was owned by Dooley's
Son walks up on him with the burner
Dooley
out,
then
and look what
approached
he
Ferris
does.
and drew his weapon. Dooley is
I can't
off
imagine
camera
what
in
he's
this
saying right now, but he ain't trying to walk away. He ain't put his hands up like, oh, my bad, you got me. He's just standing there talking
frame
shit.
of the video, but has his weapon drawn and aimed at Ferris. One state's witness spoke about seeing
Was that just suicide by Negro?
Bro, suicide by Negro. Most definitely.
I think that's what that was.
I don't
This
know.
ain't even homicide. I'm calling this suicide by Negro. Bro, what else? Can
Okay, so you're either opening the door because you're seeing if you want to drive off with the car.
Right.
You're seeing if the keys are the ignition, you're going to drive off on it. That's one thing. Two, you're just completely innocent. You're out here, you're Forrest Gumping it. You're somehow making it through life, but you're not really thinking things through. And you innocently enough open the door because you're like, this is a nice looking car. I wonder how it looks on the inside. Like you're at a car lot. And you don't think that anything, you live in a perfect world, you don't think that anything bad would come of it. Nobody's going to mind. They know. I don't mean any harm by this. I'm just checking it out. Then I see what you're saying. There would have been immediate, like, your hands are up. Hey, I'm sorry. I was just looking out this car. This is a really nice car. I wanted to see what kind of, how many disc changer you have, or do you have a mini disc player in here? What do you have in here? I'm just curious. What is this cloth? Is this leather? I just wanted to see. I'm thinking about buying one myself. And you would apologize and immediately step away and understand that you've crossed some line that you were previously unaware of, right? It would have to be one of those two things. You truly didn't know, it was completely innocent, you meant no harm, in which case your response should be totally different. You shouldn't be talking any shit. You should be very apologetic. Or you just planned on stealing that car. There's no other reason to open the door, right? If I missed anything?
No, and he planned on stealing the car, and Hurricane Chris is a small guy, not a huge stature type of dude. So when you saw who the car belonged to, you rolled the dice again. You was like, he ain't gonna do shit. If that had been some 6'4" bouncer, 300 pounds, even if that person had pulled the strap or confronted him, maybe he would have acted differently. But Hurricane Chris is a small guy. He's a small guy. This is who he was looking at holding that gun. You know what I'm saying? I think he thought he could still escalate the situation, not retreat and walk off. He's like, this motherfucker ain't gonna do nothing, and so he popped off on him, which is completely fair. Like I said, 1,000 times out of 1,000, if you at the gas station, somebody open your door and then you pull a burner on them and be like, yo, get the fuck away from my car, and they don't move, lay them down, bro. Recycle his soul. Send him back into the reincarnation. Maybe next time he'll come back as a smarter person. But that's not my problem.
Okay, maybe we were advocating violence. Maybe YouTube was right to take this off.
Well, yeah. that did come out pretty easy. My bad.
I'm just thinking about it. I was like, no, I can hear it now. You're right. Well, fuck YouTube anyway.
Damn, bro. I just don't know. I'm just saying. Well, first of all, I don't know if that would be considered violence because Hurricane Chris just beat that charge.
No, I think it's self-defense.
So that's what I'm advocating, self-defense. If somebody tries to steal your car, you do what you're allowed to do to make sure your car doesn't get stolen or that you don't get hurt. That's all crazy
sane
shit.
People knew exactly what you meant. It was only teasing.
That blue-haired person at YouTube. And I'm assuming that it was a blue-haired person, but
it was a blue hair.
Yeah,
it absolutely was.
I'm just trying to cover my tracks. But yeah, this is some wild shit. I didn't even know the details of the case.
Yeah,
and I'll give it to mom. Maybe she's just grief-stricken, and she doesn't realize the ridiculous shit she's saying in defense of it.
That's that my baby ain't never hurt nobody. Look at this shit, bro.
Yeah, you thought I was playing with the gas station.
Also on YouTube.
But
this is on
Atlanta
YouTube.
Gas station.
It's
just put Atlanta
now.
gas station.
In like 200 episodes, we never shot anyone on video.
Did my guy jump out the safety?
No,
the
he got hit
rewind
from the
that.
window. I think he got hit coming out.
Wow.
Poppy jumped out.
He already hit, look like. He trying to get out of there. Bro, what in the fuck? Where are they getting these military-ass guns from, bro?
What do you mean? They're made in America.
Anywhere.
you come to the
you
South.
go to any gun show.
This
Get whatever the fuck you want.
They in super violation because this ain't even after 9. Bro, why did he take that with him to go in the gas station? Though? I guess he knows more about North Carolina gas stations than I do. Son got out the car with a fucking Tommy gun, bro. Look at him.
By the way, I heard North Carolina is effing wild. Like they do brazen stuff like this all the time.
Bro, it's
this
got
this is a regular day.
drum on it, and he put it in his pants. That shows these people ain't mentally. They're not all the way there, bro. And I hate to do this thing when you got the mass shooters and they're like, oh, he was mentally ill. And people always hate that because it sounds like you're trying to set up a defense or something. But if you try to put a long rifle with a 100-round drum in your pants, you can't tell me that you got all your mental faculties, bro. That's some cartoon shit.
Because you're not hiding anything.
Well, North Carolina is open carry, isn't it?
I'm not too sure.
Hold on.
I know Atlanta's open carry.
So I would assume you could probably just walk around with shit, no problem.
How many U.S. states have open carry? 5 states and the District of Columbia generally prohibit people from open carrying handguns in public. More than 30 states allow the open carry of a handgun. That's not a handgun without any license or permit. So
that could be a handgun.
I got a feeling North Carolina,
if it's designed a certain way. I forgot the word that they call it, like a carbine or some shit like that. They'll be like a handgun. Like the Draco is considered a handgun, believe it or not.
I got a feeling North Carolina, you could open carry a machine gun.
Oh my God. Open carry is legal in North Carolina without a permit if you can legally own a firearm. Well, yeah. Something tells me that.
And you must be 18 years old. But look, you don't even have to be in these states where
limits
they don't allow
weapon caliber, size, or magazine capacity. So him walking to the front door of that convenience store with a Tommy gun with a 100-round drum, perfectly reasonable.
Legal. Perfectly reasonable.
Perfectly.
Yo, bro, this is death by reparations.
But you got to give it to white people, right? Because it's like they were scared of black people with guns, and then they realized they're just gonna shoot themselves.
Right. Let's make it open carry, no limits on weapons caliber, size, or magazine capacity, and leave them to their own devices.
Why are you gonna keep making these Negroes go to the trouble of hiding these fucking guns?
Right.
Just they have them. They're itching to kill each other. Just help the process along. Don't fuck with them just for walking into the...
I need to close all these educational tabs. I forgot to close all my educational tabs. I gotta close all the educational tabs, bro. There was so much education happening early in this episode. I gotta clean that up real quick. Let me clean that up. All of them. And this one too, gotta go. Sorry.
Yeah, North Carolina wants to call their black population.
The Negroes.
This wasn't even after 9.
And look,
double violation.
I don't care what you say. I find 2 people crazy in this planet. One is a guy who smokes next to a gas station, and a second is a guy that shoots next to a gas station.
What are they shooting at? What happened?
To escape the store, falls to the in a blue jacket, gets out of the white car parked at the pump with a long gun tucked in his pants. As he walks toward the Gate City food store, the gunfire begins. From another angle,
hold on. So who's shooting at him? Is it the people in this blue car right here? Whoever it was, they just popped off like 5 shots and didn't hit nothing.
Tucked in his
he
pants
knew it was coming.
As he walks toward the Gate City food store.
Looks like the blue car.
The gunfire begins.
Yeah,
from another angle,
that car.
You can see him jump back as a barrage of bullets shatter the glass door.
My dog in the black car
food
did.
Store. The gunfire begins. From another angle, you can see him jump back as a barrage of bullets shatter the glass door. He then whips out the gun and returns fire, along with another man who gets out of the white car, gun at the ready. They fire toward West Andrews Avenue as a blue SUV speeds away, and a man in a dark sedan at a nearby pump runs in the same direction. A customer trying to escape the store falls to the ground to crawl away. Cars driving by turn around to avoid the shootout. The bullets flew across the street, piercing the side of the North.
You know, some shit like that happened to me in Tampa, but I didn't know it was a gunfire. I just seen a bunch of random people running away because I heard a noise. I heard like a boom, boom, boom. And then like I seen a guy like run and trip and fall, and I laughed at it. And it's not until like I sat back and I'm like, wait a minute, somebody died just now. It was a gunshot. And then I looked in the news and it happened. Of course, after 9 o'clock.
See, that's what I said. This is middle of the day. They in double violation.
Well, you know, these are the niggas after 9.
And I just want to make clear, in all of our episodes, never did we do anything this violent.
Never.
Is this glorifying their violence? Why isn't anything pixelated? Why don't they just have stills and they describe what's happening? Why is YouTube showing the actual bullets flying and the guns firing?
Because white people
I feel
need
like
to know what's going on at these gas stations.
okay.
You gotta. They need to know. We can't look at.
That's wild.
My guy got 2 pistols. Is that 2 pistols in his hands?
This
Yeah,
guy
he
ain't
got 2
leaving.
pistols in his
Look at
hands.
homie right here with like the potato chip. Like he ain't even leaving. He's just like, let me
It's
just
like,
stick
I
around.
wonder what's going on.
Yeah, when everybody dies, you can pick the pockets. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. You can just loot the bodies like a video game. Like, I just wanna make sure if anybody dies, I get whatever change they got in their pocket.